Hello, Aries. Welcome to your weekly reading for February 16th through the 22nd. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in, Aries. I am calling this, you know what I'm calling it? I'm calling it your Y2K 2.0. I don't know. Do you get that? Because Saturn is in Aries. Yeah, Saturn's in your sign. The last time was 1996 and 1999. And you see what's happening this week. Just the most important reality shifting reset event of the year. Some would say of the decade, some would say of the century, but listen, we're here. We're here. The Great Reset. Yeah. Saturn conjunct Neptune in your sign. Aries, this is a big moment, okay? And here's the thing, you're already feeling it, yeah? And I'll explain why, but you see that we also have the first eclipse of 2026 as well. That's also a reset, okay? So you've got two back-to-back resets in 1 week, yeah? And I don't know if y'all heard of the Y2K back in the late 1990s. It was December 31st to 1999 at 11:59 p.m. Anyway, listen, here's the thing. This is a big week. You know that, right, Aries? This is paradigm shifting for you, all right? It is honestly when you've got what's happening here. Like I said, you've already been going through some changes. You already have Neptune in your sign. You already have Saturn in your sign. They've already been conjuncting. All right. So I want you to see these reset points more as like seeds being planted. Consider this your call to action. Yeah. Where several areas of your life are not only going to change this year, but they're going to like grow. You're going to thrive. You're going to prosper as you move forward. Okay? And that's the thing. Remember, there's no going back. This is it. This is the point of no return. You can't zig. You can't zag. You can't do the moonwalk. You got to just keep going. All right? These aspects give you no choice. Yeah? They say, nope. Keep moving. Keep moving. FAFO, right? So here's the thing. You've got the great reset, the great awakening, the great collapse, the great shift. All right here. This is your brand new era. And to be fair, this is what you wanted. This is what everybody wanted. The new timeline, the great ascension, right? The universe is conscious and it bringeth. All right. And Monday, February 16th, what a great way to kick off the week. You got Mercury and Pisces trine Jupiter and Cancer. Sponsored by Jupiter and Cancer because Jupiter is in the stronger position here. He's not only Pisces ruler, he's exalted at his degree of exaltation, which is 15 degrees, meaning he's like at his highest frequency. All right. He in all his glory. I talked about this a lot in your February forecast, but this is truly auspicious for expansion and fortune and luck. I mean, it is the epitome of literal manifestation. When you have Mercury and Pisces trine Jupiter and Cancer, it's just so spiritual. So what does this mean? You're likely, the likelihood of you getting like good news or messages or even like signs are really high. A lot of what you experience will be inward, okay? Because Jupiter is retrograde. So there's a lot of focus on emotional growth. Maybe, you'll ask yourself, how can I be even, more nurtured? How do I become wiser? There's an element of like forgive and forget. How can I heal others? It is a very selfless, compassionate, karmic aspect, yeah? Lot of activity around home and family for you. Okay. A lot of activity here. You may get good news. Even real estate, if y'all are looking to move or, just browsing, maybe selling, as well as, relationships, significant other, parents, children. This is going to be pretty personal to you. The fourth house is like, your private life, right? So the great thing is you've got Jupiter trining Mercury, And so Mercury is the mind as well. So there is a bit of expansion, opening your mind, right? Your faith could be really locked in around this time, as in you will have something to believe in. And again, there's going to be a lot of focus here on like your dreams and spirituality. Yeah. But be inspired today. Be inspired. Make someone's day. A small act of kindness goes a long way. And that's what this aspect is. All right. Send an uplifting text message from your BlackBerry. Listen, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, they're going to feel this aspect the most. If you're a cross watcher, yeah. If you know, if you watch for rising or your moon, or for your boyfriend, Jack, your, Gardner, Shelly, doesn't matter. Those are the ones, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Yeah. Feel it the most, but everyone's going to feel this. And then if you know your natal chart, if you have any planets 13 to 17 degrees, and any of those signs, you're going to feel it the most. Now, the other thing is, by the way, it's 9 degrees here in New York City, and the heat went out in my apartment. I am freezing, so you might see me shiver a little bit. I might actually grab my scarf and my gloves. I am freezing. Ruby is like she's in 14 blankets. Anyway, but I do hear the heater clicking its way on. Like it was just, yeah, there were a lot of calls to the landlord. Anyway, Tuesday, February 17th, we're here. The new moon, ring of fire, solar eclipse in Aquarius. Okay? This is big. It's at 29 degrees. It's going to happen very early in the morning, around 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my time, New York City time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. This is going to be big, all right? This is happening on the very last day of Aquarius season. And so this is a new storyline for you when it comes to your future hopes and aspirations, when it comes to your friends, groups you belong to, organizations, your network, your support system, your community, your audience, your, contribution to the collective, to the greater good. So what's developing from this point forward is a new plot line, yeah, in your life and everything that I mentioned. And this is going to be for about 2 years. Remember, everything is cyclical, all right? You're definitely going to feel the biggest impact, though, on this day and the 2 weeks that follow, even over the summer when the North Node actually moves into Aquarius. So Aquarius eclipses, just so you know, a league of its own, okay? It should have, its own parking space. Because here's the thing. Eclipses, as you know, yeah, they're wild cards. They bring sudden, unexpected change. Yeah? And Aquarius energy is revolutionary, is rebellious, is breaking free. There's this faded acceleration of change with this Aquarius eclipse. Now, expect radical change into your future. Not just because Saturn, yeah, Aquarius's ruler, just moved into your sign and is at 0 degrees, yeah. This eclipse is squaring Uranus, Aquarius's modern ruler, who just went direct, who was discovered in 1781 in the era of revolution. So, that said, Uranus in Taurus is your second house. There could be some disruptions. There could be some shakeups, wake-up calls with finances, with money, with how you earn money, with things that you value, with relationships. And at such a late degree, it's potent. Remember, you don't really set intentions with eclipses. It's not like new moons. They do their own thing. Because just like Aquarius and just like even, the planet Uranus, Aquarius's ruler, eclipses are unpredictable. They do their own thing. They march to their own drumbeat. And so in a way, the square to Uranus, it's loud, okay? But it is kind of like a blessing in disguise because it gives you a level of power to be the change, to be forward thinking and innovative, to have your breakthrough. Uranus is innovation and freedom and progress and your personal evolution, again, accelerated. So think of this as an upgrade. Yeah. Friendster to MySpace. Love connection to Love is Blind. Whatever happens, eclipses are going to carve the timeline you're meant to be on. And so it is saying, I got you. I know what's best for you, but you can't go back to who you were. All right? That's what eclipses are. And you've probably noticed, you've seen that your life has been transforming the past few months, especially with, again, your future hopes and dreams, the things that you want for yourself, your goals, and also your community and the people that you connect with. That's Aquarius energy for you. All right. But Pluto's in Aquarius. Yeah. The planet of death and rebirth and your evolution in the sign of evolution. So you've been feeling that already. All right. Now, if you want to think about what happened for you around February 15th, 2018, that's the last time we had a solar eclipse in Aquarius. It was about the same degree. Okay. Check it out. See which way the wind blew. Now, cross watchers, it will be the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm also throwing in Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio to complete all the fixed signs here that will feel this the most. If you have any planets 26 to 0 degrees in any of those signs in your chart, oh, buckle up. You're going to feel it, okay? There is this sense of urgency with this eclipse, and this is the official day of the year of the fire horse. Think of that, fire horse. I mean, this is going to be big, all right? And I'll talk more about that in my upcoming live stream. I'm doing a live stream that'll be closer to these dates, so look out for that, because on the same day, then you've got Venus conjunct the North Node in Pisces at 8 degrees. So this is a big deal. We know this is a big deal. Look at what's happening in just one day, right? And as I said in your February monthly forecast for you Aries, eclipses have an element of karma, as do the nodes of fate, as does Saturn, right? Saturn rules karma, like in your sign. So there is this convergence that really spells out this destined path for you. Venus, as you know, is exalted in Pisces, which is super spiritual and harmonic. Like something's just going to click. It's going to feel destined this day, especially with, the eclipse as well. Especially again, when it comes to, Pisces rules your 12th house, which is very nebulous. It's very spiritual. There's a lot. It's more, intuition. You could have like these really big telepathic downloads. You could also just feel that you are healing. Yeah, 12th house really is a place of like rest and retreat as well. But it is, again, highly spiritual. It's just this divine energy that you might feel. But there is an element of relationships, money. It is Venus, yeah? So maybe even a creative path. Or again, your values, like something just feeling destined. This is, the North Node. This is right place, right time, with someone you might meet, or have an epiphany, or, receive a DM. It's very cosmic, okay? It's a wink from the universe. And you will, by the way, you're going to feel this and the eclipse and the Saturn-Neptune conjunction all like the entire first half of the week. All right. And it will be the water signs that feel this aspect the most. If you have planets 6 to 10 degrees in any of those signs, yeah, in your natal chart, you'll feel it. Now, Wednesday, February 18th, we move into Pisces season. Yeah. So here's the thing. This is when things are getting really spiritual for you. All right. Like you are walking on water with, like a whole other dimension. And then you wake up and then you're actually not asleep. And it's very spiritual. But Pisces, remember, Pisces is the two fish, right? One going upstream to the spiritual, one going downstream to the material. So even though there is this duality, there is this high level of enlightenment in your world. Yeah. But you do have to see the big picture. On this day, Mercury, Venus, the North Node, and the Moon, yeah, will be in Pisces joining the Sun today. That's a lot of dreamer energy. And so you'll likely have a gut feeling, this knowing that something is changing. Something is also a little off. And that's because, this is your 12th house, where, again, you're very receptive. It's very spiritual. It's all about, even the subconscious. This is the 12th house, hidden matters. But Saturn and Neptune are no longer here in Pisces. Yeah, they're gone. They're gone officially out of Pisces. And so it's kind of like when, like when your kids go off to college, the house is quiet. You knew this moment would come, but you didn't know what it would feel like because you never experienced it. And that's life, right? Change is the only constant in this world. But sometimes we want to delay it. We want to control it. We want to, fight it until we realize it is a force of its own, like time and space. And you have to decide, am I going upstream or am I going downstream? Yeah. Or will I accept the duality? And that's why this day, when you've got 5 heavenly bodies in Pisces, it is so important, okay? You don't sit around waiting for your kids to come back. They're off to college, okay? While you watch Jerry Springer passing up the time. No, you start the next stage of your life, right? And so, and inspired with your dreams, right? Especially with the moon in Pisces, that carries undercurrents of really strong emotions, and like that sixth sense energy. That's what's happening here, okay? Because this day, when you've got a stellium chock full of planets and Pisces in your 12th house, flanked by 2 resets, you are going to start feeling the force of that brand new era that's coming in. All right. And Pisces is the last zodiac sign. It represents endings. Yeah. But also, we just entered the age of Aquarius, the age of ascension. So you might start envisioning and planning your quest. I mean, again, this is going to be very spiritual for you. The Pisces is boundless and inspiring and artistic and, empathetic and creative and forgiving. So for the next 4 weeks, where you might feel compelled in directions that feel right to you, maybe groups you feel mystically compelled to, connected to, or you're awakening to your true calling, or finding ways to heal through your work or through art, or even seeking greater emotional connection. Yeah, either way, you are making changes, all right? But again, it's more like you're going to get all these downloads. You're going to have all these insights. You're really going to feel connected, And even like the thing about the 12th house that I really love is like you do face your fears. You face everything that you need to face. And you've had Chiron in your sign really help with all the aspects this month, okay? And also on this day, you actually might feel a little bit of fire in your belly because the moon will move into your sign. Therefore, we will have a triple conjunction with Saturn, Neptune, and the moon in your sign. You've got so much power in terms of just new things too, because Thursday, February 20th, this is the big day when Saturn and Neptune perfect, okay? This is it at 0 degrees. So again, they've already been conjuncting. They've already been merging their energies as soon as Saturn moved into your sign on February 13th. And now they're perfecting. Okay. So it is the perfect point at that Aries point. Yeah. I want you to think about what happened for you last summer, particularly July, August, okay? What new dreams and aspirations felt real? Where did you feel a surge of confidence, especially in leadership or new business or projects or just you? This is you. This is all about you. It's in your sign. All right. This is all about you. Your identity, the role you play. This is even career. Saturn natively rules your 10th. The way that you want to be seen if you're an eye for career, your reputation. So what were you willing to fight for? Because you will start feeling that again, not only this day, but the rest of the season. This is again, the planting of a seed. And I'm going to talk about Saturn conjunct Neptune a lot more in that upcoming live stream. And I'll leave the Saturn-Neptune video that I did at the end of this video. If you haven't seen it already, it has everything you need to know how these planets have met in your sign only 6 times in history. Yeah. And what you can expect for your sign. I mean, it's literally a 6-hour long video. All right. Every sign, right? I go through every sign. So check that out. Because I've talked about this aspect a lot. Yeah. But this aspect is the reason you're seeing the dramatic headlines and the thumbnails going through your feed. The old world is collapsing. The earth is, splitting timelines, 5D, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That is a testament to this. This is a generational aspect, which means it just indicates the end of an era, all right? The rise of this new narrative, this new reality for the next 36 years. That's Saturn conjunct Neptune. It happens every 36 years, but it's never happened at 0 degrees. That's what makes this once in a lifetime, 0 degrees Aries. Okay, that's the world axis. That's the Great Reset. It's the very first degree and the very first sign that rules your identity and also courage and action. But this is when you put in the effort to stabilize your path forward. And stabilize the key word here, because Saturn is structure and boundaries and, reality. And Neptune, which is very spiritual, is your dreams and ideals. And those planets are so different. The archetypes are so different. So there is this level of commitment required of you for Saturn to turn your dreams into reality. And Neptune requires compassion and faith to make your reality transcendent. I mean, this is real alchemy, and it's up to you to make it work, to trust in the unknown, especially with this eclipse as well, that's squaring Uranus, to trust your intuition, to be that spiritual warrior. Otherwise, everything can dissolve. That's what Neptune does. Everything can collapse. That's why we call it the Great Collapse. This is dissolving the old world for the new one. And for you, just think of Saturn as the blueprint, okay? Neptune is, your vision. You're the architect. You create your reality. So you're going to have to discern what's real, what's fantasy. Yeah? Remember, Saturn is reality and Neptune is fantasy. And so just keep that in mind, because you're possibly going through, maybe a little bit of a phase of what is real? No? Things are just a little what is going on? But for you, it really is asking yourself, am I chasing a dream or creating one that's built to last? Okay? Saturn and Neptune will let you know, because this is the Great Awakening. And again, it's not just one day, it's a process, all right? And it's non-negotiable. Out with the old, in with the new, all right? You're having the shift that you deserve, okay? The brand new you in this brand new world. And it is going to be the cardinal signs. You. Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn that feel this the most. And I'm going to throw in Aquarius, all right? The other thing is, if you have planets 0 to 3 degrees in any of those signs, mostly the cardinal signs, you're really going to feel it. You're really going to feel it. Okay? Let's get started. let's get started. Aries. And by the way, these back-to-back resets, yeah, just again, see them more as seeds that will, germinate and grow this year, all year, as long as you be the change and you believe in yourself. Yeah? And you put in the work. All right. Let's get started, Aries. This is a big week. This is a really big week. Let's see what's going on for you for this week, February 16th to the 22nd, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Yep. All right. Thank you. Aries, how are y'all doing? Okay. Yeah, listen, I do a traditional, Celtic cross spread. Offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. If we need to pull clarifiers, we will. Secondly, Aries, y'all are amazing. This is a really big time for you. It's an enormously big time for you. So I hope that you really, really go after everything that you want, everything that you deserve. You're gonna get it, okay? And again, you're seeing changes already. You're seeing really big changes. There's going to be some changes again when we get to the end of February because this is eclipse season. This is just the first of 2 eclipses. We have one on March 3rd in Virgo, lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse. Anyway, let's get started. Yeah. There you go. You're good, but we got to talk about something. You got the Queen of Pentacles. I like that. I'm glad that you did. You're moving into this role, all right? This role of, I feel like especially when you're feeling all this Piscean energy, and you've already been feeling it, right? We had Mercury conjunct the North Node in Pisces last week. You're gonna have a lot more like aspects with Pisces coming up, but you're already moving into this role where, again, with Pisces, there is a sense of sacrifice. There is a sense of like surrender. And it seems like that's what you're doing. As you move into this week, you're realizing what's best for you, what's part of your old world. You're moving into this new you. You're figuring things out. You're having these psychic pops. You're going with your intuition. You're trusting yourself. And you're seeing doors open for you. But you're also moving into this role where there is a sense of, with just Neptune in your sign, and then with just moving into Pisces season, Venus conjunct the North Node as well in your 12th, there is a sense of just helping others and taking care of others. I feel like there is this buildup that will be happening up until, like I said, we do have that lunar eclipse in Virgo. That's going to be March 3rd. But any of these North Node conjunctions, remember, it's going to be opposite the South Node in Virgo. And Virgo is all about service to others. And so I feel like there is something there where there's people that you want to take care of. And another aspect of the Queen of Pentacles coming up is that there is, again, finances and money. And there may be some shifts. There may be some changes. There may be you really being inspired to change things when it comes to finances. Okay? But again, you have to be the change. All right? And so this is going to be very interesting. This is a really big week. If you haven't noticed already, and you did get the 2 of Swords and the Heart Ears spread. And so there's something, it does feel like it's going to be hard for you to let go. Okay? And there is going to be something that it does feel like just kind of takes you out of the zone, out of your element for a little bit. And you've got to take that time to figure out, answer the big questions in your head. All right. You see that she is wearing that blindfold. She's got the 2 swords. She's crossing off her heart. She's got her back turned to the sea and the moon, disconnected from her emotions and her intuition. But in a way, it's good. You gotta silence yourself. You gotta zone in. All right, make those decisions. But most of all, there's some truths that you may have to face. Okay, there may be something here. A lot of it may actually have to do with money and relationships. It looks like that is a big theme for you this week as well, even though this week is all about you. A lot of it with friendships and groups and your future, but there may be something here. Now, you do have the Hermit in your challenge area. So, two things. Yeah. You really, it's almost like there's this, you've got all this spiritual energy at your feet, all this intuitive energy. Pisces is one of the most intuitive signs. It's known for that, right? So you have the Hermit in your challenge area. The Hermit is someone who does all this soul searching and, introspection. And so now this is really doubling down on really trust your intuition this week, because there could be a lot of surprises, a lot of the unexpected. In fact, I dropped these forecasts a few days before the week begins. You're moving into Venus square Uranus. If you're watching this before the week begins, Venus square Uranus, you're going to feel on Monday. Yeah, it's strong. You're going to feel it on Sunday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And so there may be something there. And again, that's all money and relationships for you. All right. So there may be something here where so much is happening in your physical world. You really have to go within. All right. The spiritual, just making sure that you're connected, because you do have that Wheel of Fortune in your crown, which is really amazing. I mean, this is change. Yeah. This wheel, it's constantly spinning. It's constantly going. That's why I'm saying change is the only constant. It keeps moving and moving. You can't stop. You gotta keep going. It's highly associated with karma as well. And so this is all about making karmically sound decisions, but also accepting that you're moving into the unknown, right? It is card 10. What is that? 1-0. It's 1. New beginning. Who's sitting on top of that wheel? Well, it looks like a sphinx. Sphinxes are very mysterious. Into the unknown. This is a moment of fate. And again, a lot of it can be what's going on upstairs. There may be something here that you're figuring out. There may be some things that you're processing in terms of maybe great news, or something that came through with Mercury trining Jupiter. And it feels like there's a lot of processing here, but just don't forget to go within. You do have that 6 of Cups. I really love it. This is all about sharing and kindness and feeling protected. And so that's kind of the point of what's happening here. Is that, in a sense, this week you might feel that some things could be uprooted. It is you see what's happening this week. Yeah. There's got to be change. And so it's almost like coming out of your comfort zone. No? Because this is a card where it is the biggest house in tarot. Yeah. Indicating comfort, security, protection. When you're home and you turn on your favorite movie, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, you cuddle up in your blankets, you feel good, you don't want to get out of bed, you got popcorn, all of it, you got Diet Coke on the countertop, whatever, you just want it that's comfortable. You're gonna have to come out of your comfort zone. All right. But the good news here is that there is this, I don't know if you know, Mercury is in shadow. Mercury will go retrograde next week. And so there is a lot of processing that's happening here, but maybe some reassessing for you. And maybe there is something about the past that, it's hard to let that go. Okay. There's a little bit of resistance that's coming through here, but also this softness, as in it's once it's done, once you face whatever you have to face, once you make that decision that you have to make, you're gonna be fine. You have the Queen of Cups in your future. All right. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive. She is really in touch with her emotions. She has that emotional intelligence. She leads with her heart. She's got a lot of compassion, a lot of Neptune, right? Qualities of Neptune in your sign. She is a leader, right? Neptune in Aries, a spiritual leader. There you go. And so it's all part of your transformation. You have to be part of it. It's your transformation, right? Your evolution that's happening here. And again, there's something really nice and warm here, like this maternal quality with her as well that I really love. But this is also like doing what your heart desires. But the biggest thing of all is like so much self-love here with the Queen of Cups. And again, all this Pisces energy. It's like she's telepathic. You're going to be telepathic for the next 4 weeks. Go with your instincts. Let's get to your stuff. Aries, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what is going on, Aries, with the biggest week in your lifetime. And you know, loyal. All right. So, yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to be really good. You listen, just, yeah. And then, wow, have that awakening. This is the week of the great awakening. This is the week. And that's not even just Saturn conjunct Neptune. That's this week, right? Remember, Uranus is the great awakener. Uranus is Aquarius's ruler. The new moon solar eclipse is in Aquarius. That is a wake-up call of an eclipse squaring Uranus. But this is highly like Pisces energy too. Very spiritual. And so I feel like there is something here. There is a sense of like I said earlier, like no going back. But you have to recognize that. You have to understand like whatever you're moving into, that is the reset. And it's what you are seeking, right? You even see Archangel Gabriel blowing the trumpet, the dead are rising. They get a second chance. They heard the sound of the trumpet. They heard their calling. They had their wake-up call. And so have your moment this week. Have your moment. Be receptive to downloads that you get. You do have that 7 of Pentacles in your external factors area. There's a little bit of, do you see him looking forward? No. And so let's wrap some things up here. Yeah. And a lot of this is actually, well, 2 things. It does actually, you got 3 things happening. You have, there's someone, by the way, that may be in your life that you recognize this week is not like, okay, 2 things. You recognize that they're not someone that you should be getting advice from. Maybe someone that you're realizing this person has to be part of the old world, and that may be hard for you. It might be hard for you to accept that there's someone that you may have trusted for a long time. I remember Aquarius energy is you still have Pluto in Aquarius, right? Secrets coming to the surface, all of that, right? Truths coming to the surface. So keep an eye out for that. And the second thing is that there really may be something that here you are avoiding something that you really need to pay attention to. And it may have to do with like finances. It may have to do with, career, but also just Pentacles are your physical world. So something, it could even be like relationship, but there is a sense of like, just, it feels like you're just processing a lot this week, but you're eventually going to have to unprocess, make decisions, and move forward, right? It does look like there is going to be someone else involved, okay, as part of your journey. And you might have to make this decision together, but there is going to be someone that maybe not the right, 5 of Swords here, that's fine. It's just saying you just want to drop the swords. You want to drop the swords. If there's anything,
if you feel like you're in this position because where you feel a little bit powerless, right? Or you feel like you are restricted in some way or guarding yourself in some way because of someone else or other people, that could be very possible here. All right. Remember, this is your story. This is your life. This is your future. This is the reality you're creating. And so you're going to have to take those risks, but you're going to have to trust your intuition. All right. And you have to trust in yourself. Remember, you're the sign of courage. And with Saturn and Neptune there, yeah, it can be a little bit confusing when they're going to perfect, but never lose a sense of who you are. Because you have the King of Pentacles and your final outcome, you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. I love that you got the pair here. You got the Queen and the King. Remember, money may be a pretty big theme this week. And finances, money, wealth, your legacy, all of that. Okay? But you're going to be fine. You're going to be sitting in that throne. He holds that golden scepter. The King of Pentacles, anything he touches turns to gold. Yeah. But this is also confidence. This is ownership. Look at his hand over the pentacle. Yeah. And he's integrated into his wealth. You can't even distinguish the harvest from his robe. And this is really great because you still have that protector energy. You feel that right there, right? And the King of Pentacles is the same thing. He's a big protector. He's a big provider. He's very pragmatic. He's down to earth. And the difference between the King and the Queen is that the King is a little bit, their energies are more, external. And they're a little bit more public facing. They're more, this is more intimate. Okay. But you're going to be fine. I don't let anyone take your narrative. Don't let anyone, make decisions for you. It just feels like there may be, a little bit of resistance. Someone else may be involved here. You just trust your intuition. You're going to be fine. I'll clarify that too. The Two of Swords for you. Yeah. And shut the front door and the back door and the screen porch and the windows. All of it. You got the Empress. I don't even know what to say. You got to take off that blindfold. You got to make things happen. Remember, that's Saturn-Neptune. That's Saturn-Neptune. It can be a little confusing. It can be a little like disillusionment. It can be that's Neptune. It just you've got to do that alchemy. You've got to do that balance, but you've got to take that action. Yeah, it's very new energy that you're working with. Yeah, all right. You'll figure it out as long as you trust your intuition and feel that confidence. All right, you got to believe in yourself. Yeah, the Empress. I don't know what to, like, this is insane. Okay, the Empress, card 3. This is all about creation, the birth of new things. This is a whole new path for you. One of luxury and abundance. And this is living your life like through your passions and your pleasures. Yeah, it's the Empress, a goddess. She does whatever she wants. You see the symbol of Venus in her stone-shaped heart. You see the pomegranates all over her gown. What I say about all this, growth and everything that's happening in your world. Okay, something new. This is what this is what. The other thing is that when you take off that blindfold, when you face the things that are hard to face, and listen again, the lower expression of what's happening here with when we move into Pisces season, that's your 12th house. Lower expression would be like self-sabotage, hidden enemies. Actually, by the way, remember, there may be something there where you recognize someone that isn't a friend, but yeah, I'm like actually speechless. What I was gonna say is that you've got the only, remember what I talked about with the King of Pentacles and the Golden Scepter? And I said he's only one of two people that hold that Golden Scepter. Shut up. Oh my God. And you hear the church bells going off right now. Like, what is happening? Anyway, you got the only two cards where they hold the Golden Scepter. Anything they touch turns to gold. This is luxury. This is wealth. This is you creating your reality. You're good. I'm not even. I'm just gonna stop here. Aries, thanks so much. Next week we will dive into. There's so much happening next week. Well, Mercury goes retrograde. We know that, right? And we'll go through. There's so much happening. I can't believe this is. Oh yeah, and then for the second spread, for the bonus spread, yeah. I'm going to isolate both the Saturn-Neptune conjunction and the eclipse. We're going to do two spreads. I'll walk you through it. Really good legendary members. You know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. If you like this reading, Aries, what is going on? If you like this reading, it'd be great if you subscribe, leave comments. And I will see you next week. This is... Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.